Hey guys, sitery.dev here. Just completed another landing page for hireme.sitery.dev. This time it was for a company called AirWallex, which is a startup based in Melbourne, and they do financial tech. And I wanted to emphasize on what I've learned in my design journey so far, and also incorporate more JavaScript library animations using GSAP. So I'll show you guys what it looks like. We're on hireme.sitery.dev, and here are my 3 landing pages that I've completed so far. So we'll jump straight into the latest one for AirWallex. So if I click on that, we'll have a look here. So as you can see, it goes straight into a GSAP animation. So I'll just do a refresh on that so we can have a look at it again. So it's timelined, and we start off with the main call to action here, which is "We're not a bank, we're better." And I really wanted to emphasize the "we're better" part as a call to action to book a demo. But the second role is the I guess the slide-ins from these images of their application here. So this, I guess it's an iPad or something, rolls in first, and then this one rolls in second, but at a faster velocity. So I'll just refresh again, we'll have a look. So as you can see, your eye is really drawn to the "we're better" part, and then these pictures here zoom in to emphasize what they actually offer. And again, I've done the hover and bounce on the call to action button here. So you've probably noticed, but I've really stepped up the game in terms of design. So your eye should really be drawn to these 2 parts here. And I did a lot of Photoshop work to make sure this logo doesn't stand out as much, so you really can see the call to action. And then as we scroll down, this is a cool design feature that I've implemented to separate the different sections of the page. So this little SVG wave here is a really cool looking function here. And then we've got a gradient color as well, which matches the AirWallex color scheme, which is this kind of orange color and this purple color here for the button. And then we've got their point of differences here. So I've got these icons from Font Awesome. And then we've got the global accounts, payments, and FX, their virtual cards that they offer, and zero integration for AirWallex transactions. And then it goes back into this wave function, and then a final call to action to open account. Again, the bouncing animation comes into effect here. And then I place the small social media icons on the bottom right-hand corner here. And if this was a production site, you'd probably have like 2020 AirWallex or something like that there. So again, real clean design, strong emphasis on the call to action, and yeah, a lot of Photoshop work had to come into play here to separate these 2 as well. So let's just jump straight into the code and have a look at it. So we'll go into the index.html. So here is the font that I use through Google. I think it's called Lato, which is a kind of a cool techie kind of look there, real clean. And then Font Awesome for the icons that I used. So again, the page was distributed via a grid container section that I guess all of the HTML is within the grid container. We've got a header with the logo that I had to Photoshop to, I guess, de-emphasize it a little bit less, so we could concentrate on the call to action. And here is the SVG for the wave as well. So there's all the calculations and numbers there in order to get that wave and the filling of the shape. And then we've got the call to action here, which is your H1, and a span for the where better with a class on that, so I could emphasize that in an animation. We've got the two hero images. So there's image 1, which is the first part that will be animated, and then the image 2, which is the second image that will be animated. And then we've got the call to action button as well. And then we've got the key features here, which are all identical in terms of HTML code. And then the final call to action at the bottom there. And again, the SVG flipped around as well to contain that section. And then we've got the social media icons in the footer. So again, implemented jQuery and the GSAT Mini, their script source as well. We'll have a look at the style.css. So style.css, we've got your base functions there, and then I had to do a lot of absolute positioning, and I learned a lot about the overflow function and the fact that you can't actually put the overflow on your body or header, I believe. So it needs to be in a wrapper, which I'll show you. So this kicks off with the grid container here, and this is the basic structure of the page. I just label it as boxes because it's just, I don't know, easier. And then we've got the main hero. So under the hero container, I've had to put in the overflow X and Y on there. So I guess the main images don't push out of the page. And then you've got your standard grid area names on each section there, on each div. And then, the call to action as well. Again, that color, I use color picker to get the exact purple that they use on their site. And then I've had to play around with a lot of positioning on the hero images so they line up correctly. And then you've got your application features here as well. Just bulked the I's and the P's as well, just to, make the styling a little bit more simplistic. And this is the CSS behind the SVG as well, and then the final call to action, and then the social media links, and then the responsive design as well. So a lot of the responsive design was based on the call to action section, which needed a little bit of adjusting, especially with sizes and that sort of thing. And then I had to throw in a landscape orientation as well in your media queries. I think it was 1024, because the iPad Pro looked kind of weird. I don't really understand, but yeah. Anyway, if I go in here, it's responsive. These are the breakpoints. So those are the breakpoints there. And finally, we'll have a look at the JavaScript. So JavaScript was very clean. Again, used the jQuery.ready function upon load. Set a variable of timeline, and then created the animation timeline. I guess one interesting thing that I've implemented here was the unitary element of minus equals 1. So I guess the way to explain it is that there's kind of like this virtual timeline that the animation follows. And if you want to, chop a second off the animation so it's not so delayed, I emphasize the hero image 1 to finish, and then the hero image 2 to come in much faster. So there was really the hero image 2 is set at a duration of 0.5, so it kind of zooms in and almost instantly after the image 1, thanks to the -1 second there. And then you've got that mouse over function there with the bouncing scale and yo-yo as well, which is standard amongst my other landing page. So I just wanted to show you this here, this plus or minus, this -1 and this duration of 0.5. So it's a more of an aggressive sort of zoom into the frame. So that comes in there, and then that phone comes in a lot faster, and that's thanks to that timing function there, which is pretty cool. And that's it. That's the page right there, done.